Hey, we're here at the Arnold Classic with the great Travis Mash. How you doing?
Hey, I'm glad to be here and excited about this podcast, especially.
We are too. Thanks, man. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah. So I hear there's a little bit of bummer news for you. You were signed by the Carolina Crush.
Right.
And unfortunately no longer exists.
Yeah, Ken and Paul were two of the three owners, and they were great. And so they treated me really well. They actually taught me up really, really well because, as you know, I'm a strength athlete. And so, but they were teaching me.
I couldn't tell.
Well,
I thought you were a bodyweight specialist.
No, not at all. So they were teaching me, though, some of the stuff. They were teaching me, like, the muscle ups, which I've gotten now, and toes to bar. But they were so good bringing me along, because really I'd stopped training until December. And then Paul Klein emailed me. He's like, look, we're serious. We want to sign you before the draft. And so I started training hard. And so I've come along really well. And you know what? Here's the good thing is I believe everything is for a reason. And no matter what happens, it got me back in shape,
Oh, yeah.
And so
that's great.
And with the new 5-month-old son, I'm all about it.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
Yeah, my man Rock. Shout out to Rock.
Oh, that's awesome.
He'll see this in a few years.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
When he's old enough. So for those that might not know your background, some of us in the strength world, we know about you. Right. Let's tell our viewers a little about yourself. Give us some history.
Well, in 2004, I broke the all-time pound-for-pound world record in powerlifting, which was squat, bench, and deadlift, and I totaled 24:10 at the time. And then I broke it again at 24:14 the next year. And so powerlifting is my call to fame, I guess.
So that's a cubic butt ton of weight, by the way.
Yeah.
Let's
not just let that slip by.
Right.
That's freaking heavy.
But I was a weightlifter first,
Okay.
And, I didn't have enough time. I only had about 2 years total in the weightlifting world. And then I was in Colorado Springs at the Olympic Training Center training hard. I got really lucky making it there within a year's time. But then my father was diagnosed with cancer. And so I had back in the day, I'm old, 41, but back in the day, there wasn't a CrossFit on every corner.
Sure.
So you either did Olympic lifting in like one of 3 or 4 spots in America.
Right.
So I decided to move home and,
Where was home?
North Carolina.
Okay.
So I was in Colorado Springs, moved back to North Carolina.
North Kakalaki, born and raised.
And so then I started powerlifting. And so
Right, now you're with Muscle Driver.
Muscle Driver USA is my weightlifting team. I also coach my Mass Mafia weightlifting team, too. They're more of like don't get me wrong. There's some unbelievable athletes in my Mass Mafia team. But the pro team is Muscle Driver. So I do both.
So it's more of a development team, maybe you say?
Yeah. We have some of the best youth and junior lifters in the whole country. We got one who just, shout out to Dylan Cooper, who just made he actually made the world team.
Nice.
Junior world team.
That's awesome.
And so I have a bunch who have potential to make international teams. So they're a really good developmental team.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about you, but like coaching pro athletes, obviously a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But coaching kids or youth that are growing into a sport is just magnificent. Watching them, develop over the years, a lot of good stuff.
It's my, I don't like to choose favorites, but I think it's pretty obvious. I love working with my kids, and not only teaching them about weightlifting, but life. A lot of them, things aren't so awesome at home. So being able to have a part in their lives, not just weightlifting, is really exciting, and it's a blessing, So.
Right.
Yeah.
And we think, one of the reasons why we're out here at the Arnold is because weightlifting obviously plays a really big role. So we're looking at multi-sport athletes now. We got CrossFit, competitive CrossFit athletes. We've got weightlifters and grid athletes all doing it at the same time.
I love it.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. First of all, that some of these folks can actually do it at this level,
right? And
not just do one sport, but do it all. So we see a huge overlap between weightlifting and grid, obviously. So what's your thoughts though on transferring from, let's say you're a weightlifter and maybe grid appeals to you because it takes you can be a specialist in grid. How is the training different, you think, if you want to go that direction with the cycle times and all that sort of stuff?
That's just it. It just, I think it's going to take a solid 12 weeks. When you're a really good weightlifter, obviously you're a really great athlete. And so to learn some of these new movements like the cycling, it just takes time. With me, I've caught on really quickly. I've never done a muscle up or a toes to bar in my entire life. And I'm learning it. It didn't take me much. And I'm 41. So you take these younger weightlifters, I mean, they're going to learn quickly. The only problem I had was the shoulder to overhead, but then now it's fine. They had a test at Carolina Crush. It was 245 pounds. The goal was 20 unbroken as fast as you could. The first time I did it, I could do like 10.
Overhead press?
Yeah, overhead. Yeah, like the jerk. Or
right.
You got to get it overhead.
Right.
Sure.
And so the first day I did it 10, and I got 12. Now I can do 20. And it just takes learning that movement.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
that's solid. Well, let's look down the future. So you're still open to being a part of the Grid League?
Yeah, obviously it would have to match my lifestyle, but I would absolutely love. I will say this, and mark my words, I will be a part of the Grid by next year. I have no doubt. As far as a master athlete, I don't think any master in the world can come close to me. I mean, I know that sounds arrogant. I'm just saying.
Right.
I mean,
you need to have a little arrogance.
Yeah.
If you're
that's
you're
confidence.
Be an athlete,
That's confidence. That's not arrogance.
Yeah.
And
Pro
at
athletes
41,
kind of have that little chip.
At 41, you still have years to go as a master athlete.
Absolutely.
Right? I mean, as a 40-plus athlete, you're right at 41. So you can give a team some good years.
Yes. What other 41 do you know that can snatch 300, clean and jerk 400, can still squat over 7, bench over 4, and deadlift over 7?
I know one 44-year-old that can't.
Well, I mean,
that's me.
I also know one 33-year-old that can't. That'd be this guy.
I would love to be a part of it this year. If not, what I'll do is I will make sure that I work my life around the Grid. I love the Grid. I think it's the coolest sport out. Obviously, I love weightlifting, but I'm a ADHD type of athlete.
Got to have a lot of things going on.
I've got to have. I mean, it's just who I am, and so I need to have lots of different things going on. And so I love how the Grid will give me a different challenge every week. So when I figure out one thing, there's something else waiting on me to figure out. So I love it.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think you got a lot to add to the Grid, and we're looking forward to seeing you on the Grid.
Yeah.
And thanks for being. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say one of you guys contacted my friends. I'm a partner with the Grid Style. It's a type of training.
We did.
So they just sent me a text right before this. That's Paul Stewart and Will Hall. Will Hall will be in the Grid this year, I'm sure. But we're doing it. It's just a cool program. It's all designed around the training that we've used for me with the Grid. So I love.
That's awesome. I didn't know if it was like a lifestyle brand kind of thing, or if it was actually a training system.
All the above.
Oh, cool.
All the above. Grid Style is a lifestyle brand, and it's a training program. You can go to mashelite.com. Plug.
That's
to
all right.
Look at
Plug
it.
away.
Plug away, man.
Hey, so we're going to have to get you guys or some of these guys back on the show and talk about this, because we just kind of glanced by it and saw it. Didn't have time to figure it out, but I think there's a lot of good stuff going on there.
Yeah, you get me, Paul, and Will, and those two dudes. They're really the ones who've coached me up through this whole process. So.
Good.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
All right,
I
man.
look forward to that.
All right, guys.
All right, so until next time, clean up all your jerks and snatches, drink your beer in batches, and always dominate your Grid matches. See you later, guys.
See ya.